Hey everybody, it's Nate Deedle. I'm just here to do the challenge for Chapter 4. Picked a favorite museum and show some techniques that we learned in the last unit. A lot of adjustment layers, a layer that you can kind of turn on or off depending on whether you want to use it in the long run. I have a good picture right here of the, let me find it here, the Field Museum. Right, opening that up, and first thing I'm going to do, just the colors seem like a little bit off. Mostly, I guess, like the contrast, a lot of the brightness. So I'm going to go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer, and you can go do Brightness Contrast. I kind of want to bring up the brightness a little bit, just a tad, and up the contrast a little bit as well. There we go, actually quite a bit. There we go. Just makes it look a little more vibrant. I like that. Cool. Alright, so this first thing. Okay. You can also go to Levels. Levels is just like you can use like bring the top down, that's like the darkest point, and bring that up to make it kind of darker all the way through. Is obviously the darkest is kind of like the mid levels. So I'm going to bring that, maybe make a little bit darker, kind of richer mid-tones, and maybe a little bit lighter on the top. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Alright. Alright, now I'm going to go to Adjustment Layers again. If you click these off, you can kind of see what it used to look like, whether you want to do it or not, use it. See before, like, it looked very washed out. Now it's nice and bright, has some good contrast to it. You can also go to Curves, which is a interesting, kind of complicated tool to use. You can make a point here, you can make a point here, and it's just kind of different. Each point is kind of like a different part of the picture, the photo. So as you move it, you are controlling that area in a sense. So I can kind of want it all weird and dark. You can do that. Looks like post-apocalyptic or something. But I'm just gonna bring it up just a little bit, and maybe down here. It's kind of, there we go. That looks pretty good. Cool. Alright. Yeah, not too much of a difference there, but you can do big differences if you really need to. That's a pretty good tool to have. Okay, and then you also have hue saturation. You can get crazy with it. You can change the color to just about whatever. Just make a trippy landscape like this. Just an acid trip. But we want to keep it pretty natural. I'll put it back to 0. Saturation itself, as you up it, you can see it gets pretty crazy, and when you take it out, it's just lifeless. 0 saturation is black and white. The more you bring it up, the more color. So I mean, we're pretty close to. We can add just a little bit of color, but we just don't want it to get too crazy where it looks like cartoonish. A little extra color doesn't hurt anybody, right? And you can make it a little bit lighter if you need, make it a little darker. I think we're pretty much on though, so I'm just going to keep it the same. Okay. Oop. Yeah, it's close enough. Okay. Other things under adjustment layers, you can use color balance. you need. It's more basically just changing it into crazy colors if you wanted to, or just like different, you know, tones. You want a little bit more red to it, a little bit more green to it. You make some. This kind of gives it a cool look. So I mean, want to keep it pretty natural. But if you know you're missing those tones in your photograph, you can absolutely use them. Okay, I'm just going to put them back to 0. I think mine's pretty good. Alright. I can go to one other thing I was looking at is the gradient map, which is a good way to do black and white photo like that. Really just like high contrast black and white right there. You can get real crazy with it like that, or you know, any colors that you want, and you can kind of move around the image to show it different areas. Obviously that's not, there we go, yeah. This can make some really cool designs that way. I'm going to cancel, whoops, and go to, let's do a black and white. You can do a gradient type of noise, which is real crazy. And a little messier, but at this point. But yeah, it makes it a very good black and white image. So use that. But maybe it's a little bit too just too dark and too white, washed out for you. You can go to, let's see, you can go to adjustment of layer again. You go to photo filter. And it gives it kind of like a warm kind of feel to it. A little bit of, you can use any color really, but so you want it like a, let's see, maybe a little bit darker. That's kind of cool. It's different filters here. First one's pretty cool. And you can, the density, you can make it real warm, you know, real orange, to, you know, back to being completely black and white, completely devoid of color. But yeah, just adding a little bit, I think it's pretty cool. It makes for a pretty cool image. If you're missing that warmness. Alright, and then last thing is you can go to filter gallery, which I feel like I've been having some trouble with lately. But you have all these different choices here. You got colored pencil, cut out, like it should be doing, I think, a preview right here, and for some reason it's not. Either way though, you have that huge gallery right there to at your disposal. I could go through here too. There's some of like the more basic ones. You can sharpen edges. You can do some different things. See if I can find a pretty cool one maybe. I don't want to get too crazy because it already looks pretty good. Under here, yeah, it's being kind of funky lately. See what happens. Nothing. Interesting. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's a whole lot of techniques we use there to make this image look real cool like that. I'm just gonna save, and I guess that's about it. All right, thank you very much for watching.